video, we are going to study chords. Now, when you talk of a chord, it's basically
layering of 3 or more notes played simultaneously.
So in the set of the major scale that I played, I can pick 3 or more notes. But for the case of this video, we are going to consider only 3 notes and then play them simultaneously. For instance, I can pick my C, and I can pick my E, and I can pick my G, and then I play them like this. So there is a chord, okay? I can strike them together. So with this, I can single out the notes, but with this, they are together. So when you have a case like this, then this is what you call a chord. Now a chord plays is an integral part of music, very important when it comes to music, because it consists of the various parts of voices. When it comes to orchestra, you would have what you call baritone, bass, soprano, alto, and then tenor. So in music, or in the guitar structure, you can have all these things there. Especially you can have the soprano, the alto, and then the tenor by picking 3 sets of notes from the major scale that you constructed or you studied earlier. And that is what we are going to look at. For the bass, you can add the bass, especially if you are playing alone or you are giving a freestyle or something, or in a jazz or something. You get there when you get to more than 3 notes. Okay, and mostly when you're in a band, you obviously have a bass guitarist. So playing the bass sometimes might conflict with what the bass guitarist. So you have to focus on the other part of the voicing or the voices. Okay, so that is a little explanation I can give you, or definition I can give you about chords. So in what we're going to do, we're only going to consider a chord called triad, T-R-I-A-D, triad. And this triad consists of 3 notes. So any chord that consists of 3 notes is called triad. Okay, and then we would have the seventh chords, which consists of 4 notes, and then other extension chords as well, the suspended chords, and so on and so forth. So for now, we are going to study triad, and then within the triad, we can pick 2 notes and then make them sound in harmony, and that is what we call duet. So like I said, in voicing, so these 3 notes were actually going to represent the soprano, alto, and then tenor. So I can pick any of these 2 notes and then play them in harmony, 2 of them, and then those 2, when they sound in harmony, then we call that a duet. Okay, like 2 people singing a duet. So the same thing here. So we are going to pick 3 notes and then form what we call a triad. So how do you do that? So that's the question. How are we going to construct that? Now, looking at the number of notes that we will need, will obviously correspond to the number of strings that we're going to need. Okay, fine. Some would say that, oh, the C note you can play like this, and then you would have more than 3 strings. Yes, which is correct. But just count the notes that are in those strings. You said there are only 3 notes, so you only need 3 strings to play that. The rest are just extension. But from here, all the notes here are up here in this string. The first 3 notes, the 5th string, the 4th string, and then the 3rd string. All those notes are there. So anything that comes under that is just an extension, okay, that you've added. All right. So for now, we are going to consider 3 strings. That is the 5th string, the 4th string, and then the 3rd string. And as we move along, when you learn the other form, other shapes, then we would include the other strings as well. Okay? Alright. So just to ease things for you, we are going to consider 3 strings for now. So the 5th string, which is the A string, the D string, and then the G string. Now in our intervals, I told you to note some things. The first is the perfect notes. The 1st, the 4th, and then the fifth. Those ones are going to have the same note construct or the same chord construct. So when we're forming a chord for those perfect, for the do, it's going to have the same number systems. The 4 also going to have the same number system of notes, and then the 5 is also going to have the same number system of notes. All right. So note that, and then the other one that I asked you to note is also the major ones. So the major ones, the major ones, with the exception of the major seventh, and the exception of major seventh, the rest are also going to have the same chord construct or chord construction. Okay, so for instance, so let's pick the major scale first. So we are going to play it diatonically. So I pick the C. I'm playing with just a finger. Okay. So we are going to form chords to represent these notes so that we can play them not just singing notes but 3 notes. So if I pick the do chord, I can strike 3 notes to make it sound like do. If I pick the E note, which is the re, sorry, the D note, which is the re, I can play 3 notes to represent it like re. I pick the E, which is the mi, I can play 3 notes to make it represent me, to sound like me. You understand? It's going to be something more heavy. Alright. So how do I construct these chords? So first, for the perfect or the unism, perfect unism, I pick the do. Always you pick the roots, and then you pick a major third, and then a perfect fifth, or a fifth, third, and a fifth of the major scale. I repeat myself. So for chords, for the do, you would pick the roots, you will pick third, and then you will pick fifth. So the third of C is E, and then the fifth of C is what? Is J. When you come to the fourth too, you're going to do the same idea. You pick the roots. Sorry, you pick the root. That's the fourth. You pick the root, and then you add the third, and then the fifth. You come to the J. You pick the roots, and then you add the third, and then the fifth. So we are going to take these notes individually. So if I pick this note and then I construct the solfege, I pick the first, that's the unism, its third, and then its fifth, and I come to the perfect fourth. I take that one too as a new root, and then I construct. I pick its root at the unism, the third, and then the fifth, and then I come to J. I pick the unism or the root, and then the fifth. Alright, but don't forget that the key that we are playing, or we are actually building the whole thing, is C. Okay, the key that, so for now put the C on top. It's like a structure, okay, organizational structure. So you put the C on top, and then we are going to build under it. So the first one, C, F, and then J, they are going to have the same note or the same construction concept. And then the major second of C major, or key C, the major second of key C, the major third of key C, and then the major sixth of key C is also going to have, they are also going to have the same element of construct. Okay, So if I pick this one, so with this, what I'm going to do, which will be a different from the perfect ones, is with a third, I'm going to flat it. So it's going to be a minor third. Please go back and then understand the intervals very well. I could have used a different way of explaining this. That is saying the C and then the F, and then you will form major chords for them, and then the minor, the re, mi, and then la. Those ones are minor notes, and then it can cause we have other minor notes as well. The D, the to, those ones are also minor notes. So if you make the whole thing minor, like this one is a minor note, this one is also a minor note, this one is also minor note, it will get to a point that you get confused. You wouldn't know which one is a minor. That's why I'm using the intervals to explain the whole thing. So first, understand your perfect. Those notes which are perfect. That is the root. That's the C, the unison, the perfect fifth, and the perfect fourth. And then the ones which are major, the majors. That is the major third, the major second, and then the major sixth. I said we hold on to the major seventh for now. And then with the perfect or the unison, perfect unison, you pick the eighth root. You first play the solfege. You pick eighth root, the third, and then fifth, and then you do the same for the perfect fourth and then the perfect fifth, and then you come to the major ones, the major second. You pick, you construct the solfege. Now you know how to construct it. So if I'm here, I think no longer in key C, I think now in key D. So I construct. So I pick the unison, and I pick the fifth. But with the third, it's not going to be a major third, but it's going to be a minor third. So I'll flat the third. So flatten is a step backward. So I'll flat the third. Okay? So it's going to be do, mo, so, do, mo, so, do, mo, so. So it's not going to be, no, it's going to be do, mo, so. So in the same way for the mi or the E. So I'll flat the eighth major third. So it's going to be a minor third for it. Okay? And then I'll come to the same thing for the the sixth note of C, key C. Alright. So now that we've been able to get the idea, so that we are going to use 3 strings. And make sure that each note falls on a different string. Okay, because if I have 2 notes falling on the same string, how do I play them to make them their sound come out? It's not going to be possible. So that means that once I'm able to locate 1 note on a string, then I have to go to the next string to look for the other one. So I have my one here, I have my third, the major third here, which is E. So C, E, the next one is going to be a G. That's the perfect fit. So I have, lucky for me, I have a G string here. So it's going to be, I said we are playing everything diatonically, like this. So you're picking all the roots from this line, this string. Okay, you're picking the root from this string. So, okay, so 1, 3, 5. So the fifth is a free string, that is the G string. So 1, 3, 5. So it's going to be this. Sorry, my mic. Okay. I hope you can play it. You can play along with me. Okay. Now you go to the. So we go to the. So look at the shape of this. I'll use this finger. This one, the next one, this one picked, because if you are playing the solfege in the 3 frets, is this. So, alright. So the next one, I go to my D. So I said, so you flat the major third, you flat it, So the fifth falls on the same string as the minor third or the flat 3. So I need to go to the next string and look for the so or the fifth of this key. Okay, the so of this key, which is A. Okay, which is A. So lucky for me, I have A here. I have A here. Okay, so for this the G string, so from G sharp A. Okay, we said we are playing everything on these 3 strings, 1, 2, 3. So we can't go down. So need to look for where A of this key will be, and this it's here, A, right here. Okay, so that means that it's very wide. I'm starting with this because I would want to teach and then come back to start something called inversions. By the time we are done with this, you would not understand everything about inversion. So this is a one-pack video, because in other videos that I've seen on YouTube, and then they will show you the C chord, they will show you the D minor chord, and then they will show you the E minor, and then you see, or they will show you the G chord, and by the time you are done, you would only be playing around this side. So see, we will only be playing around this side. That's why I've seen a lot of most of the guys that I meet, they without a couple this thing, not this thing bracing, they find it difficult playing because they are mostly stuck around this side, so they find very difficult playing. So but I want you to be able to play along all across the fretboard. That's why I'm taking my time to teach this video, so I hope you cope with me. Alright, so let's go back to our study. So the do, don't forget, is this. The mi, I have my flat 3 here, so my so is somewhere here, so it falls within 4 frets. So I'm going to use this one to press down the root. This one press, this one, which is the longest finger, presses the flat 3, and then the first finger press down the fifth, which is the A. Okay, so I can strike them like this, 3 strings. Okay, I know it's going to be difficult for you as a beginner. It's very stressful for the first time, very stressful, but it's a good exercise for you, because with time you will realize that you get used to, you can now open up your fingers and then be stressing for more very more complex chords. Okay, so it's very good exercise for you for now, so get used to it. I know for the first it's going to be difficult. Take your time, do it, take your time, practice more. So it's going to be this. Okay, so for the perfect I had a shape like this. Okay, and this one I had a shape like this. So like I said, the re, the mi, and then the la, they are going to have the same arrangement, and then the do, the fa, and so they're also going to have the same arrangement. So once you get to know the shape, then you can use them for all of the rest that I mentioned. So I know that the re, the mi, and la, they form under the same minor. Okay, I'm using minor because you flat the third. Okay, that's why I use the minor. Okay, so you're going to form a minor chord. So this is going to be called C major chord because you use a major third. This is going to be E minor chord because you used a minor third. So the names of the chord are given as a result of the interval qualities or intervals naming scheme. So this is going to be a C major chord because you use a major. What makes something major and minor is the third. So the third, when you change the third, you flat the third, it becomes a minor chord. When you make the third major, it becomes a major chord.